need you to stand up for justice. It has been unjust. A young black man has been killed, just like in Memphis, Tennessee. 5 police officers killed a young black man, and in Baltimore City, we will not have another Freddie. But what do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! Come on out! Come on out! Come on out! Come on out! Do you realize right now in America, we demand justice? We're not going to sit by idly and watch it come by, but we're going to stand here until justice flows like rivers of water. What do we want? Justice! I can't hear you. What do you want? Justice! What do you want? Justice! When do you want it? Now! When do you want it? Now! When do you want it? Now! Come on up here, sister. Come on up here. Let's tell the story.
They got a black face at the Baltimore Sun. You know you are a rarity. You know you got to tell this black story and this black truth, right?
Try my best.
You responsible. You see that little motherfucker over there in that limb? The little cameraman you got? He know me. Ask him. Y'all accountable for us. This change. This ain't just news at 11. This real life shit.
Tell him, Shorty.
This real life shit.
Check one.
Mind check! Mind check! Mind check! Mind check! Shut that shit down.
Alright, y'all, so it's a year, and we've been coming out here since last year, and we still ain't getting no justice. We was going to the outside meetings for Ivan Bates when he was running, and he still ain't want to give us justice. I mean, he talked to us. He said that once he got in the runner-up, he was going to help us get some justice. So now I just want to say, what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
Donnell don't get it,
Shut it down!
shut it down,
Shut it down!
shut it down.
Shut it down!
Ivan Bates,
Ivan Bates!
come on out.
Come on out!
Ivan Bates,
Ivan Bates!
come on out.
Come on out!
Ivan Bates,
Ivan Bates!
come on out.
Come on out!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Donnell don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
Donnell don't get it,
Shut it down!
shut it down,
Shut it down!
shut it down,
Shut it down!
shut it down.
Shut it down!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we? I can't hear y'all. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Donnell don't get it,
Shut it down!
Yeah! Go, Jay.
This is Jay Wendell Gordon. He is a respected attorney in the state of Maryland and across America. He speaks for himself, but I like doing this shit.
My Chiron is J. Wendell, W-Y-N-D-A-L, Gordon, G-O-R-D-O-N.
Ooh, look at y'all.
Last
Look at
week,
y'all.
Ivan Bates sent a message to this poor, grieving family that this son didn't matter. That it didn't matter that he was afraid. It didn't matter that these officers killed him. It didn't matter that they were not acting in self-defense. It didn't matter that they weren't in a life-threatening situation. And the message that he sent to us was clear. It's open season for African-American children or African-American youth. And we want to send a message right back to Ivan Bates. And we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to stand for it. We're looking for courage from a prosecutor. No man is supposed to be above the law.
That's right.
Ivan Bates has declared that these officers are elite citizens, that they can go out and kill our citizens, our children, our youth, in the name of some so-called self-defense, when they've already been told by the Attorney General's office, and they knew this for a while, that this was not a self-defense matter.
Yes!
That this was not a life-threatening matter.
There you go.
That none of the officers were in the zone of danger, and none of the officers had their life in peril. But we're not going to stand for it, and we just need to send this message and make it loud and clear. That Ivan Bates, you have to have courage and fortitude to do what you do. You cannot hide behind the FOP or do the FOP's bidding. We have an Attorney General, and right now they're in Annapolis trying to change the law to take whatever discretion you had away from you, because you're creating dissension not only amongst the ranks of the police department, because many police officers do not agree with your decision, but you're also creating dissension among Maryland leaders, specifically the Maryland Attorney General. It wasn't right. It was very shameful what you did. The Maryland Attorney General has been investigating this case for almost 11 months. You have been in office for 26 days, and you made a decision within the first 20 days to upend everything, all the hard work that the Maryland Attorney General did to make a decision that is inconsistent with the law and inconsistent with the facts and the evidence in this case, but more importantly, inconsistent with the top law enforcement officer in this great state of Maryland. So I'm very disappointed in you, Mr. Bates. I'm very disappointed in you because I expected a whole lot more from you. I'm very disappointed in you because I wanted to support you. You asked me for your support. You gave me your private phone number. I wanted to support you, but when you make decisions like this and you hurt our youth, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to support you. So if what these officers did was self-defense, then you must agree that what Tavon Scott did was self-defense. And if you disagree with that, or not even what what you accused Tavon Scott of doing, you must agree that what you accused Tavon Scott of doing had to be self-defense either. Yet Tavon Scott is charged with first-degree murder. These officers can't even get a manslaughter charge. This is reprehensible. Completely.
Lawyer! Take on!
You need to reconsider your decision, but I know you won't.
Oh, he ain't gonna reconsider.
You need to reconsider your decision, but I know you
think
won't.
about that.
Because it's arrogance involved. It's arrogance involved. You went against our own Attorney General to support bad officers, to support bad behavior. You're going against our own Attorney General. So that's what I wanted to tell you, and I hope this message gets to you.
You got a right to protest. It's our first amendment right.
Wendell Gordon. That's J. Wendell, W-Y-N-D-A-L Gordon. G-O-R-D-O. You may have. No, I do not represent this family. And let me just put that on the record. I'm not here representing the family. I'm here representing the community and the citizens.
My man, there you go.
Yeah. I'm not here. I don't represent this family.
This wouldn't have happened now, Harford
But
County.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would have. Harford County.
It wouldn't have happened now, Howard County.
And another thing you ought to know is that the Attorney General found at least 3 areas of the protocol was violated. Number 1, they shot into a moving vehicle when there posed no threat to the police officers. Not only did one police officer shoot, but 2 police officers shot into a vehicle. One of the bullets struck him in the chest and killed him. Number 2, they did not get proper medical attention. They did get medical attention, but they could have put him in that police car and taken him to the hospital. They did not do that.
They did it for Suter.
Who they do it for?
Suter. See what happened to Suter, don't you?
Number 3, check
You feel me? You feel me? Y'all the media, y'all supposed to report that. Public accommodations, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, Alvin killed this family twice. He
Hey,
killed this young man
can we
twice.
get in the building?
He was killed once by the Baltimore City police
Can we get in the
officers,
building?
and then Alvin killed his character. He assassinated his character. And I think, again, that shouldn't be tolerated. And we need to stand up against that. I mean, so it's very difficult to even just make it in this city. It's a very tough city, it's a very rough city. But we don't feel like we need to lose our rights or give up our rights for constitutional policing. And we don't need a state's attorney who's going to endorse unconstitutional policing. We don't need a state's attorney who's going to endorse manslaughter when it's committed by an officer, but go hard on the citizens of this town. I just think that I think that his objectives are misaligned with the people. I think that his decisions are inconsistent with the law that he's sworn to uphold and enforce. And I just truly feel that he really needs to reconsider that decision, no matter whose toes he steps on, no matter what campaign promises or promises he made.
Or who paid him? Or who paid him like Fox 45?
I don't know anything about him being paid. All I know is that he's made a bad decision, that he needs to correct it. He has time to turn this thing around. He needs to do the right thing.
Has he reached out to the families?
The family's here.
The grandmother's here, the mother is here, the church is here, the community's here. And right now, we want you to know that there will be no peace. Donnell will not rest in peace until Ivan Bates make the right decision. We do not want murderers walking around in our city, patrolling with handguns. We cannot have a double standard. You can't say we're going to lock up our citizens who are carrying guns, killing people, and not lock up police officers who are doing the same thing. And if we don't get this under hand, what happened in Memphis is just going to be a candy story fairy tale. We need to get on board and demand justice right now for Donnell. If we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If we don't get no justice,
Shut this shit down.
if we don't get no justice,
Shut this shit down.
we want justice. Not justice just for a few people, but we want justice for people who are gay, people who are lesbian, people who are of the LGBT community.
If you got blood in your body, we want justice for you.
And right now, I wonder if we would have the same urgency if Donnell was a straight young boy. But he was a gay young boy, and there seems to be no urgency to give him justice. And we want to know, do you love the gay community like you love the straight community? And if we don't get no justice, if we don't get no justice, Donnell was a young boy when I baptized him. I remember holding him and putting the water over his head. I remember him singing. I remember him dancing. I remember taking him to the camps. And I remember him saying, believing that he had a life before him. But right now, his life was taken away. If we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
they have locked the doors so that we can't go into the very building that we pay taxes for.
Public building.
It is a public building.
Public accommodation.
We can go in there and be orderly and protest, and yet they don't want to hear our voices. But today, we can stand outside and protest for those who have no voice. Donnell is dead, but his voice is still alive in us. So if we don't get no justice,
You don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
You don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
You don't get no peace.
Donnell was raised up in West Baltimore. we can have justice right here. But his actions right now have proven not to be just, but just for a few of us. And we will not rest until justice is given to everybody. So if we don't get no justice,
they don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
You don't get no peace.
come on, Kenji.
We come down here today because an injustice has been served. We're here because our state's attorney has decided not to charge murderous police. We're here today because there's an attorney general report that said that the police intentionally killed Donnell Rochester. We're here today because many of us have watched that horrible video where they snatched his life out. We're here today because we have a state's attorney who has decided not to charge murderous police because he doesn't want to be like his predecessor. His predecessor would have charged. But this state's attorney, armed with a full report, a report that said that when they killed Donnell, that those police officers were no longer in danger. And when you look at the video, you don't see where they're in danger in the first place. We're here today because police violated multiple Baltimore City policies. We're here today because Baltimore City police policy said you're not supposed to step in front of a moving vehicle. That's what their policy said. But when we look at the video, we see police stepping in front of a moving car. We're here today. We're here today because Baltimore City police policy states you're not supposed to shoot into a moving car. But we're here today because we saw it over the video. We're here today because Donnell Rochester was 5 minutes from John Hopkins, and 2 minutes from Union Memorial, and 5 minutes from Good Samaritan. But it took them 20 minutes to get him to the hospital. We're here today because the policy states that they are supposed to get help for people who are hurt. That's why we're here today. We're here today because we're tired of folk like Ivan Bates siding with crooked police. We're here today because I know Ivan Bates. We're here today because what he has done has invited our whole community. What he has done has endangered our whole community. I'm going to pass it to Jay Wonder-Gordon.
I just want to say that, black people are the only ones that get accused of their own murder.
That's right.
Ivan Bates accused this young 17 to 18-year-old man of his own murder.
Yes.
When we looked at the video, we saw the same things that the police saw. You don't have to be an expert. You don't even have to be a police person to know what's fair and just. Their policy says you're not supposed to step in front of a moving vehicle or in front of a vehicle where you know that there would be a likelihood of you using force. They violated that. Their policy says you're not supposed to shoot into a moving vehicle. They violated that. Their policy says that you're not supposed to shoot your weapon or discharge your weapon and kill someone when your life is not in danger. They violated that. They've done no different than any other criminal on the street. So they're going inside.
Oh, snap.